the Evergreen Media Network Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Uplifting the Uplifters, where each episode we bring you a new uplifter. And today is no different. We have my friend and yours, Stephanie Smith, owner of OTG Liquidation. Good morning, Stephanie.
Morning.
But before we get to the amazing work that Stephanie has helped us with, we got to let our co-podcasters here say what they do because they help pay the Evergreen bills. And you too can have a podcast. You just reach out to my friends at Evergreen Media. Adam Ogilvie, owner of Orc Services. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning.
And then we have Pedro Burnaby, local realtor. Good morning, Pedro.
Good morning.
So each episode, I let them talk about the exciting stuff that they got coming up. And we're only going to give Adam 60 seconds because he's real big about insurance. You may have seen Adam recently. But Adam, what are you doing with the insurance crisis, bud?
Oh, man, I am out there just trying to conquer the insurance crisis issues for everybody. Last Friday, a week from today, I started a group called the Florida Homeowners Insurance Alliance. And to not too much of a surprise, because we know it's a pressing issue for every Floridian, is that they started joining my group. We've earned 600 new members since Friday, and we're out there trying to educate, advocate, and provide positive change for the insurance market crisis. So if you're listening, you want to join my group and make changes to our insurance, look me up on Facebook.
Awesome. So we're going to educate, alleviate, congratulate, and all that.
Yes.
Now, Pedro, got anything exciting selling homes? What do you do there, bud?
Well, I just want to remind people that we have a lending partner with us that really helps heroes, which is veterans, active military, and teachers, stuff like that, with their closing costs and other things. So there's a few perks for those people that do help our community and are doing their service for our country.
All right.
So,
and how's the market? Is it a good time to buy? Of course he's going to say yes.
It's always a good time to buy. It doesn't matter. I mean, to be honest,
$500,000 homes, who cares?
The market's going down.
I mean, if you buy now, you get a good price because the prices are lower and the rates are a little higher. But, on the opposite side, when the rates are lower, the prices go up. So it's never really a bad time to buy.
Reciprocal.
Yeah, so definitely give you a call, man, if I'm buying a place.
I'm just letting you know.
Commercial and residential, right, Pedro?
Both of them, yes.
Dude,
and one of the things
absolutely.
is I am one of the new members at Adam's.
Educate, alleviate, and congratulate.
FHIA, baby.
But it is a true thing. Most of the people that I've talked to, they're very concerned about insurance prices. One of the things, I mean, they may be okay with the price of a home, ready to go, and then insurance comes in a little higher.
Deal, right?
And I mean, we have to shop around, and it's really, really hard to get a good
People
rate.
can't get in the same size houses as they could before because of insurance companies.
It's crazy.
They're like the slumlords of Florida. You didn't think you're going to be renting from anybody when you bought your house.
I mean, we
Well,
can talk
right
about
before we lose our insurance sponsors at Team Success, we're going to look on over. And Stephanie, how are you this morning, sweetie?
I'm a little concerned about insurance.
Yeah, there goes all the Team Success sponsors of the insurance industry.
How is your insurance?
So one thing that this room has in common is that everyone's always giving back to the community. And, we just made the joke before we came on. 4 years later, I still can't get a picture with Stephanie because these people in the room do it because they care about our community. So today we're going to talk about community with Stephanie, and I'm going to kind of start the conversation. I think it was 4 years ago. Adam was reaching out to the world. He's really good with marketing. He's getting us new donors. Good job, Adam.
You're welcome.
You can stay around another show. And so we needed bikes, and we found OTG Liquidation. And we walked in. Not only did we get bikes, but we got these giant elephants for Christmas. The neatest things ever. And Adam was on US 1 with his Orc pickup truck there. And we shoved these elephants in there when we made it back to Vero. It was a fun ride, wasn't it, Adam?
I mean, you're saying giant. These things were humongous.
Yes.
I mean, they took up the entire back seat of my truck. Like, the head was like almost hanging out the windows. These things were so big.
Yeah.
I put two of them in there, and I'm not going to lie. I was scared to drive down the street because I could barely see. It was bad. I was like, hope the police don't see me. This is really bad.
Oh, speaking of police, hello, Sheriff Flowers. And
Yeah.
so, but when we went Christmas Day to some of these houses, I mean, these families were blown away. I remember the one mom, she was in tears. She was like, where's this giant thing going? I was like, I don't know, but it's getting out of this box truck, so show me where it's going. And since then, Stephanie, whether it was our Caring for CareNet's cause to make sure a mom had a crib, whether it was back to school supplies, even recently supplies for softball players and football players, I mean, you're always reaching out to see how you can help your community. Why is community so important to you, Stephanie? And give us a little background about you.
So I moved here about 15 years ago, and I met my husband, and he had the OTG Liquidation Center. It was really small and not so nice then, but
Then you came along.
Yeah, you made it great.
just needed a woman's
Made
touch.
OTG greater again.
But as it grew and we started getting into the community a little bit and seeing just how many people in the community really need help. And my husband and I have both have backgrounds to where we've been in the position that these people are in. My husband's been in sobriety for many, many years, and it's part of his program to make sure you give back a lot, and he really runs with that.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, he can literally clothe every single person in the county if you
Yeah.
know. That's crazy.
Yeah, and he has. And, you know, Christmas is big for us because, again, we've both been in the position where it's like, man, how are we going to buy our kids Christmas gifts this year? And kids don't understand when they wake up and there's nothing there. So that's so important to us. And to do it in a way where people are embarrassed, I feel is very, very important, which is why I love what you do so much, because you're able to get it and give it in a way where people don't feel embarrassed. Or like we'll give gift cards so people can come in and just shop like a normal person. Nobody knows that they lost their house and they lost everything they had, and, you know, they can't pay their rent. They need clothes for their kids. They're just in there shopping, not being followed around, not feeling like, oh, I can't get this because this person's watching me. So I just personally feel like that's super important to do. And so I really appreciate the way you do it, because a lot of people that give donations, get donations, want to be part of the community, do it to get the pat on the back. And that's really the opposite of what it should be about. So
Exactly.
yeah, when Adam introduced us and I really seen like everything you do, and you're like, listen, if you want to know where anything went, you just ask me. I have a video, which you send me videos every time. But you really know where your stuff goes.
Yeah.
Versus you donate all this stuff and
And you never know.
you never know.
Yeah. And you know, when we started Team Success, I wanted to be different than some of the others. I wanted, obviously you got to keep the lights on, right? But I wanted 80% to go back into these programs that we were doing and 20% for admin. I mean, I'm well aware, you talk about insurance, the policies that we have to keep. And I don't think people understand that, you know? So when we're out for begging for funding, whether it's board insurance, liability for what we do, you know, rent, there's so much that goes into keeping the lights on as a nonprofit. So when you hear these businesses that give back, OTG, Orc, Pedro, you know, those are the businesses we need to go out and support. Because as you just heard, and I want to touch on a couple stories that really stood out, and there's so many because it's been years that Stephanie's been helping us, but two that come in mind. One, we had a young lady that couldn't figure out how she was going to stay in her place. And, you know, you never know who's watching on Facebook. I made a post, and your Indian River County Sheriff reached out, and it was a combination of the sheriff telling us about a program that the sheriff's office had, Stephanie, and then some community members. And we were able to keep that mom in her home. You know, how many businesses are out there that really say, you know, I want to be part of this? And whether it's behind the scenes. And so many times, you know, I have to beg, whether it's Adam, Pedro, or Steph, like, hey, let's take a picture. And the reason I do that is because, you know, as a business, everything is profit, 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 right? But those businesses that are giving back to us nonprofits and say, I just want to help. Then we had a young lady that was incarcerated, and we have a very successful reentry program in partnership with the Indian River County Sheriff's Office. 48 inmates, only 2 have returned. Our recidivism rate in Indian River County is better than the state average. And that's because your sheriff and his team and our new friend who's now Dr. Captain Angela Jones. We want to congratulate Captain Jones. She just finished up her doctorate there. And, caring about our community, community policing, those aren't just two words now. That is a reality in Indian River County. And so this young lady got out, and she had nothing for these kids. And she said, this time, this is different. I'm going to get it right. I'm going to give up the drugs. And can you help me? And I said, you call me as soon as you get out. You tell me what's needed. Every day she reached out and said, Michael, today I went to Unite Against Poverty to look into this. Today I had a job interview at Dunkin' Donuts. I said, all right, you've shown me that this time is different.
Yeah.
I have no clothes. And I sent Stephanie those sizes. And not just, threw a couple things in a bag. Every child had their own little bag that they were able to go back to school with. Those uniforms. We got book bags. I mean, when OTG gives us stuff, and it's always funny because I always say, you got to go with the box truck because she's going to give us a pallet of something. It's never where I'm coming to OTG to pick up 2 pairs of shorts and Stephanie's saying hi. It's come to the back. And those guys there, George always has a smile. And my good friend Kiki there, who I heard's on vacation. But shouts out to Kiki. I love you, Kiki, over there at OTG Liquidation. You guys go see Kiki. She'll make you laugh if you don't know her already.
Yeah, it's her last vacation ever.
Oh, it's the last vacation ever. Kiki, it's a wrap when you go back.
Not to cut you off there, but I think as a business owner, Stephanie and I can both relate on this, is when you're giving your money, a lot of these nonprofits, maybe 1% of the money you give them actually goes to the cause. When what you just said is 80 times more return on our caring for our community. So
that's correct.
That's why we're invested in team success and giving back and trying to give back to the right communities and nonprofits and stuff. And you're definitely number one on our list. So I know that.
Well,
Thank you,
I can
Adam.
say when he came in to the treatment center, when I had talked to me about team success, and I'm like, I don't know if I have time. I don't know if I want to do this, but here, I'll give you some money. And then I came and I volunteered and I did the work with him. I was even a board member there for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Then we had to kick you out, Pedro.
What I love is that you're willing to help everybody and anybody.
Correct.
And even if people have messed up before, you give them another shot. And really, what's there to lose? Because sometimes it takes what it takes for
Sometimes
people.
it takes that 7th try.
Exactly. And if you help them on the 7th try, great. If you help them on the first try, great. But you keep giving. And, that changes people. And then that person in return is going to go pass it on and help the next person. And, that's what makes the world go round. And people miss that because a lot of donation places and nonprofits, I've already helped them before. They're on my list. I can't help them again. Okay, well, I can probably count on my hands 12 times where I couldn't pay my water bill.
Yeah.
In my lifetime. So if the 12th time somebody helped me again, and that's what made me realize, man, it's good. It feels good to be able to help somebody in that situation. Great.
And, and I want to go back and touch on about who we help. Those in society who may be looked at as hopeless, and we remind them that they're not helpless.
Amen.
Because I remember time after time for me, if someone gave up on me, that's 7th time for me, because it took a lot of times, But once I finally said, I'm ready to make a change, the definition of insanity, right? Doing something over and over, expecting a different outcome. When I'm working with these inmates, I don't look at them or even ask the question, how many times have you been here? Because I don't care. Because if someone did that to me, I'll never forget, I was trying to get into FAU. Shouts out to my alma mater there. And I remember a lady saying, how many arrests? And I was like, well, it sounds about right, whatever number you just said to me. And they were going to put me in front of a committee. And I remember saying, so you represent me. She was like, yeah, you're going to turn in everything that you've done since you've been in trouble. And I said, but you can't tell my story. You don't know what it's like working at 7-Eleven, making damn near 7-Eleven, so you don't know what I went through. And this lady was so sick and tired of me. I was turning in letters of recommendation from everyone up into the Attorney General of the state of Florida of, let me show you what I've done since. So when I'm working with these individuals, I could care less about their past. I want to know, where are you going? And I think that's what really makes us different. I've had a few nonprofits that we work with who are much bigger than us, got budgets I couldn't even fathom. But one day I will. And they said, what makes you different is that you'll help those that we can't. Team Success was put in place to cut through that red tape. Forget that background. Let me reach out to an employer who I know that's going to give you a chance as long as you are willing to change. And that's what we've been able to do. When you're talking to someone who's incarcerated, who has no idea where they're going to live, where they're going to work, and I think that I learned this working at the rehab, talking to these people who they just felt like no one cares about us, and Pedro was all right a few times in life. But you look at some of these people and they're like, wow, you care? Yes, I do. Because in the state of Florida, we're not a second chance state, right? And I won't get off on a tangent of clemency, but when we talk to these young people and we explain, and I always hold up my phone and say, hey, what is this? Oh, it's an iPhone, Mr. Marsh. I said, no, that is a felony. And they're like, wow. And we started this prevention program. And I want to thank Hope for Families very much for allowing us to start our prevention before intervention. And it's a program that I'm very proud of because there is no such thing as prevention, so to speak. There's diversion, and then there's a few, if there's substance tied into it. But some of these kids it's not a substance problem. It's that they're a part of the ACEs, that there's been some adult childhood experiences for the parent that has now went to the child. And that's what we're studying, that okay, you're in a shelter, so maybe you are X amount of times more to end up into the system. But let me teach you about not being in the system. Not that this is a punishment, but this is an educational session. And those students last night, we had three, it was a sophomore, junior, and senior, 3 brothers, so mannerly. And they were so engaged the whole time. And I'm like, that's why we do what we do. And we don't get $1 of funding, but we will go back to CSAC next year and we'll cross fingers. We get it.
I mean, I've seen it firsthand. I went to the first one. Absolutely amazing program. I mean, I know the kids walked in. I think you could see it on their faces a little bit, like questioning why their parents dragged them in there. But about midway through, they're sitting up straight, edge of their seats, really engaging, asking questions. Absolutely amazing. Great program. And the community really needs to rally around the prevention before intervention program for sure. It's amazing.
Thank you. Now back to Stephanie. You have these cool bucks that if you spend so much money, and I was in there before, and you really get a bang for your buck at OTG. It's like a more organized Ross when you go in there. Sorry, Ross, but it's true. It's so I don't care when you go in there. She's got sections. There's a Christmas in July. There's the appliance section, and it always looks like it's been like that for forever. But tell us about how much you spend and what day you do these give back. How does all that work with your promotions?
So for every $50 you spend, we give you $10 back to use the following week. Every Wednesday and Thursday is a coupon day, so that's when you're able to redeem your coupons. And then I did start kind of a VIP member club where you can scan the code and then you join. And then on Saturdays, I usually do like a $10 off a $20 purchase.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes I'll do 20% off your whole order, just something to kind of give back to the customers that really make us who we are, because we have amazing customers. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without such support of the community. And we try to just give back where we can. Sometimes we'll do like a half off store sale around
It was crazy when you did your last one.
What?
These people were out to the almost US 1.
Yeah. It's too hot right now, but I want to do another one. But we really try to focus on doing that before Christmas time so that people are able to buy things that they're really not able to buy.
Awesome. And now while they're shopping, they can eat something tasty over there in your parking lot. You have a food truck that is there how often?
So Monday through Saturday, there's a food truck, Sunshine Grill. Our friend from New York moved here and he opened the food truck up. And burgers, hot dogs, empanadas, homemade.
They're amazing, by the way.
I love the
Absolutely
empanadas.
amazing. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Listen,
I still think about
Hispanic,
those.
Latino, yo apruebo este mensaje. I approve this message.
Oh, you do?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was deep, Pedro.
We needed that.
I know where I'm going after
It's like
the show.
Rosetta Stone in
Oh,
real
yeah.
life over here, the Espanol version. Well, listen, Stephanie, we really appreciate the years of support. And obviously, if you don't know now, over on US 1, what's your address over there? Can we bring up the where OTG's located there? They just moved into their new, bigger and better building.
Oh, it's
a
amazing
triple B's.
facility. It's huge.
It's beautiful.
Oh, man.
Great.
That looks great in there,
Yeah,
Stephanie.
it's great.
I mean,
There we go. OTG Liquidation Center over there on US Highway 1. And, you know, these people wait for the Facebook Lives. And I get on there from time to time to give Stephanie a shout out. And, I mean, they're just, like, glued in. They're just like, what about this? And take me to this section. I mean, people wait for these lives from you,
Yeah, it's really nice. I should do it more. And everybody's like, you need to do them more.
There should be
I'm
like a daily 9 a.m. Stephanie Live at OTG, and maybe like some type of like prize for them, a scavenger hunt. You should do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a little scavenger hunt.
Great idea.
Yeah, great one. All right. Well, for the last few minutes, we'll talk about what's coming up. For Team Success, we do have our gala, which OTG, once again, is one of our sponsors. So is Orc Services, Pedro Burnaby Realtor. And it's not too late. So if you're hearing this and you would like to be part of our 6th annual, we've been in business 6 years, and I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
You know, I remember the days I'm saying, Wanda, can we afford to pay Geico? What do you mean we can't pay monthly? Oh, we got to pay it all at one time? Well, we may not have insurance for a week. This year we have some great guest speakers. Speaking of Sheriff, your Indian River County Sheriff, Eric Flowers, is one of our speakers this year. Dr. Captain Angela Rosado Jones, all of that, she will be there as well. And Dr. Mauro Schiff, FAU professor, and we're very excited this year about our gala. And so we still have sponsorship opportunities available. We're looking to sell 25 more tickets. They're only $85 a piece. And what does that go to? We're your only indigent moving company here, not just in Indian River County, but Martin and St. Lucie as well. So those families that are moving out of Hope for Families, Safe Space, the Samaritan Center, Team Success is able to move those families free of charge to those families. So we need your support. We're looking for a bigger box truck. In the Bible, it says, you have not because you ask not. We need a bigger truck, ladies and gentlemen. I am sick of this thing breaking down. So give us a box truck, would you? We have Thanksgiving coming up. This year, we're going to do over 1,400 meals. Thanks to Sheriff Flowers and the Indian River County Sheriff's Office and Aramark, over 1,400 meals. We'll feed every shelter, the homeless community. If you want to be a part of any of these exciting events, please reach out, and we'll end the year with our Caring Christmas Cause. We're so big now for this event. Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, dozens of families will be bringing gifts. Yours truly will be Santa. So before we sign off, once again, I want to thank my two amazing sponsors. Adam Ogilvy, if you're your newest community activist and advocate there. Adam, how can they reach Orc Services?
Well, you can Google our name, ORC Services. I'm all over the internet. It's pretty easy. Or you can just go to Florida Homeowners Insurance Alliance and look me up, and I'll definitely respond to you there, because we need to make change to our insurance industry.
We need to educate, alleviate, congratulate.
Educate, advocate.
Oh, yep, all those eights there. But not just Orc Services, Orc Flooring and Caring Cleanup as well, owned by Adam Ogilvy.
We have a design center, flooring center. We do it all for you.
There you go. Pedro.
See.
Last words of wisdom, bud. Bring us home.
Oh, nothing. Just
He's got nothing, ladies. All right, we're out of here.
Buy a house. Call Pedro.
Buy a house. How can they contact you, Pedro? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Is 772-494-3226. Pedro Real Estate Sales at gmail.com.
Or if you need to get a hold of me, and I'll get a hold of him.
There we go.
And once again, we want to thank our amazing guest today, Stephanie Smith from OTG Liquidation, guys. Go support OTG. Stephanie, thank you for being here today. Once again, this is Uplifting the Uplifters, where every single month we bring you a new uplifter. So stay tuned for the month of September. We'll have another amazing guest on. And as always, baby, it's I am, you are, we are. It's Team Success with OTG, Orc, and Pedro Burnaby. Have a great day and go out and do something great for somebody, because it's just that easy.